Hey, what's up? How's it going? We're here today and another time with another episode of the podcast. This is the third episode of the Carlos and Guillermo podcast. Today we have two special guests and we're going to have a different dynamic. We're still going to talk about books and movies. And our two new guests are going to be Pedro and Daniela. Pedro is going to talk about the Little Princess book and the movie. And our second guest, that is Daniela, she's going to talk about the book and movie of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. And for the usual, as always, my co-host, Carlos, he's going to talk about The Great Gatsby, the book and movie that we all love. So first of all, I wanted to start and say that my favorite movie and book is The Great Gatsby. It's the one that has intrigued me the most and the one that I have enjoyed the more. So Daniela, Carlos, or Pedro, you can talk. Tell us what book and movie you saw and talk about, and what did you like the most, or what's your opinion in the series you read?
Hi, I'm Pedro Nantin, and I read the book of The Little Princess. And this book was about a little girl that was in a boarding school, and she lost his dad because of a disease. And she went to the school, and the dean of the school was really bad to her. And she treated her like almost like a slave. But she was always like in a good mood and trying to do her best in everything, helping her friends.
The story of The Great Gatsby is about a man who moves to New York for work, but he only moves in right way from a very particular guy named Gatsby. Sometime later, he is invited to one of the great parties that Gatsby does. But the particular thing about this situation is that nobody received an invitation. Anyone can enter to the party, and that made me think what makes him special. Sometime later, we found out that the Gatsby is in love with the main character's cousin, and for the reason Gatsby gets closer to Nick Carraway, the main character of this story. The story continues with how Nick and Gatsby get to know each other and Nick introducing his cousin to Gatsby. And the story continued with a lot of mystery and even murders.
So, Carlos, what is your opinion about the book you read and the movie you saw?
My personal opinion is that The Great Gatsby story is it has a great plot twist, and I am sure that will not disappoint you. I prefer to see the movie because I always been a person to watch movies, but the book is just as entertaining, and I assure you that you will not regret it.
I love how the book of The Great Gatsby sounds, and the movie sounds really interesting, so I'm very anxious to read it or anxious to see the movie.
Pedro, could you tell us, did you like the movie or the book?
I like more the movie of this book because I don't like to read.
Pedro, what was your favorite book?
The book I like a lot of these ones of this podcast is the one of Carlos Morales because it's really good. His explanation was really fine, and I think that I will read it in the next days.
So Daniela, could you tell us something about your book or your movie? You haven't talked anything about it.
Hi, my name is Daniela Gallardo, and the book I read and the movie I saw was called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. The story is about a really introverted boy that is about to enter high school after some successes that happen in his life. The story continues, and he makes two funny and amazing friends that will be with him through this difficult stage of his life and will include him to parties and all that includes the social life. I really love this story, and I will recommend it to every single person because it leaves an amazing feeling and shows you how a person can affect you or help you go through any stage of your life.
Well, it looks like it's all the time we got. We reach our limited time of the podcast. I wanted to thank all of the audience that is hearing us and supporting us, and also I wanted to thank Daniel and Pedro for coming today to our podcast. As always, we're very grateful for having the support we have, and we wanted to thank all of the people that support us. We're hoping we see you in the next episode of the podcast. Thank you.